Ladies and gentlemen, I have a few words to add after all before the winding up, even if I wound up the year. This is a response to recent developments. Um, First and foremost, I want to emphasize that me and Alexandra Kicha remain at war, and it will not end as long as she is connected to me. My statement was absolutely definite and unequivocal. This woman has nothing to do with my life. She is disgrace. She is dishonor. She is the worst thing that has happened in my life. And I'm very sorry, but if you don't understand it, I must say honestly, they don't believe in your wisdom anymore. I'm sorry. Now, the speech. Ladies and gentlemen, in that troubled time of times, let us imagine I am not the Queen of Aquitania, but the Queen of Poland, and I have to wear the crown, no matter how heavily it weighs upon my brows. I am looking at the sky behind the window, and I can see the sun is shining. There are birds flying against the background of the blue sky. They fly in flocks. There are noises in the street and the people, some of them probably watching me with the intention of finding out something really disgraceful about me, to do a lot more harm. Poland, my homeland, my sovereignty, my responsibility. We have been through the Christmas time as usual. There have been voices calling for forgiveness, reconciliation, love. It makes one reflect on forgiveness itself. Normally, as a child in our culture, one learns forgiveness is something really good, honorable, commendable. As an adolescent curious to know other worlds, one may learn forgiveness is valued in all religions, all over the world. As a mature person, one starts asking valid questions, quite unaware that the answers can be different when one becomes a sage, celebrating the years of wisdom at the autumn age. The problem that remains unsolved can lack correct solutions, of course, but far more probably there is another diagnosis. The problem remains unsolved because it lacks a correct diagnosis, which leaves one with beating about the bush and constant coping. Weak hope. The problem remains unsolved. I say forgiveness does not solve problems. Justice alone does not make it either. And love is not the answer. I believe we are on the verge of the Third World War. Perhaps it will not happen, but the odds are against world peace. Some peoples are dissatisfied with their life conditions. The reasons for the dissatisfaction go beyond the commonly quoted areas. The real reasons, hardly ever quoted due to political motivations resulting in ideologies. If it goes against the ideological grain, it cannot grow. The reasons become causes, even if convoluted as different causes. No matter how many words we utter, the obvious remains. Some are not satisfied with the borders we have been left with after the Second World War and political development since. How does one change borders peacefully? There are physical borders and the non-physical ones. The current business people tend to define conflicts in terms of purely financial gains or superpowers at play, quite deaf to the other side of the stories. It pulls in new players who acquire the means making participation possible, as well as create their own competitive edge. As I asked elsewhere, how is the national Islam on the rise to fight the USA? Incidentally, how was the People's Republic of China to make it once we touch upon the human rights concept? Paradoxically enough, it was the Muslim Ashoka of India that originated the human and animal rights movement in the political matrix of the planet Earth, which does not imply Muslims are to become Buddhists. Perhaps it is the most important question for us to ask if we want to solve the problem of terrorism getting smothered temporarily to break out again, stronger, unless we find a way of making it redundant. How is the national Islam on the rise to fight the USA? I believe the most valid reasons are misunderstood by the general public. At school, we are taught about the spheres or zones of influence, and the world divided into the Western world and the Eastern Russia. Not that there were any significant worlds apart from them there. The USA was carrying the torch of freedom. Russia was the undefined but omnipresent and perhaps omnipotent oppression. Not that we knew much about other continents. Perhaps some championships gave us a chance to see the other worlds do exist. I am in my 40s, and most of Asia and all of Africa and Latin America remain the other worlds that do exist. I am in my 40s, and now I am aware that we, the poles of the European Union, the Western sphere zone of influence, believe we are to civilize them by teaching them democracy. Are we? Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank all those people, the few there have been, who have been trying to help me. And I mean the people who have really been trying to help me, not the ones who have been pretending. Because there have been quite many with the hostile intention, the intention remaining covered. We are approaching the end of the year, another year of devastation in my life, another year of total sadness that I can fight thanks to my exceptional personality and the spirit that helps me not to give up. The help I have received, the support, the backup is valued by me, unexpected as it was. The development of my life has been totally shocking. Still, being an individual, private person who has a mother attacked by the world powers requires exceptional interventions. And where I do not agree, but I remain grateful. Thank you very much.